What is good, everybody? It's D Brown Shanhan, and welcome back to the series where we discuss the most iconic sports gaming characters from our childhoods. If you haven't seen the first one, now is the perfect time to go do that so you can make sure that you're not commenting that I'm missing somebody who was in the first video. And of course, if you feel like I'm missing somebody, make sure you leave it in a comment as well as leaving a like. Now let's get into it. Now this list is in no specific order, but we're gonna start it off with a true icon. All my NBA Street fans feel me.
My name is Bob Beto Garcia, aka DJ Cucumber Slice.
The NBA Street games are universally loved because of their style, the crazy gameplay, just how fun it is. And one of the biggest things that make it so much fun is the commentary. DJ Bob Beto has commentary bars for days. I mean, he have you cracking up, and if you're the one losing or you're the one who getting your shot smacked, he would have you vexed, you know what I'm saying? He had all the charisma in the world, and the things that he was saying was just so original. Like I'd never heard, a lot of the things he said, I had never heard spoken on a basketball court before. I just want to give y'all examples because if I were to copy the things he said word for word, I still wouldn't be able to do it justice because the way he delivered his lines and everything he was saying, this was just so perfect, man.
Oh, he going with the cop. Meow, meow, meow. See, boys and girls out there, that's how you're supposed to express yourself. That's pure expression. Man, that looked dry as a bone. Yes, a positive, yes. Affirmative, yes. He did do that to you. Oh, man. They must have eyes in the back of their head.
So shout out to the NBA Street Volume 2 DJ Bob Beto Cucumber Slice, a true legend. After Bob Beto, we are keeping it in the 2000s era, and we're taking it back to what some consider to be the best wrestling game of all time. But we are talking about SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. And we talk about iconic characters. Y'all know where we going with this. And this one is a twofer because they go together in a way, you feel me? We are talking about Brock Lesnar and
the one, the only, Goldberg.
Now you probably thinking, why do they go together? But some of y'all already know. If somebody gets Brock Lesnar, the only reasonable path to go, yeah, sure, you could go Undertaker, but Undertaker's regular Undertaker, not the one you have to unlock, is only an 85 overall. So if you wanted to stand a chance against Goldberg or Brock Lesnar, you had to get their counterpart. So with both of their durabilities being so high, you could even have somebody who had high strength. You could have somebody with 10 strength. It's hard for them to even do damage to each other, and they're the strongest people in the game. Imagine playing with like a cruiserweight or somebody who wasn't really like John Cena, whose overall wasn't that high back then. Bruh, you would be fighting Goldberg. You could be whooping his butt for 10 minutes, and you could have put 10 moves on him in that 10 minutes. You might have gotten his torso to a yellow. You might. And the same goes for Brock. And then on the other hand, if they hit you with 3 moves, you already orange, bro. Your back already orange. They hit you with 3 moves, don't even gotta be a power move. And don't get F5'd or speared because you're not getting up. You're not, it's over. And then on top of how good they were, we gotta mention their move sets. Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, like their moves just look so devastating. Like Brock Lesnar will fold you up with slams, clotheslines. Goldberg will fold you in half with all these series of devastating slams. And of course, the Goldberg entrance. Like we know the Goldberg entrance itself is iconic. And then next up on the list, we are going to Madden 08. And we talking about Chicago Bears receiver, Mr. 100 Speed, the only one to ever be done in Madden history as far as I know, but Devin Hester. In Madden 08, when I played against somebody who tried to cheese me with the Bears, I had these things I call the Devin Hester rules, right? The Devin Hester rules are simple. Don't kick to him and don't single coverage him. And if he goes over the top, you gotta manual him. You cannot let the computer try to intercept or deflect because you're gonna get burned. You might still get burned even if you manual it, but you can't just give Devin Hester, you can't just let him get going. 100 speed. There's no corners in the game. Even if you create a corner whose sole purpose was to stop Devin Hester, guess what? Still might not work because 100 speed and you couldn't do that. I mean, just type in Devin Hester Madden 08 on YouTube and see all of those old videos from 12 years ago of everybody showing off just how fast he was. And sure, he wasn't the most physically dominant, but he was agile. He would break tackles, he could juke you, he could spin you out your cleats. But simply put, Devin Hester is pace cheese personified. Now moving on from American football, we go into international football with FIFA 08 Ronaldinho. Now, I did some research and found out that Ronaldinho was actually better in FIFA 07 overall wise, but I never played FIFA 07, and FIFA 08 was the first FIFA that I actually got to like sit down and like actually play it. And of course, I just, when you're a kid, you're just looking for the highest rated teams with the highest rated players. And they had the cover athlete, and the cover athlete overall was high. His speed was high. He looked cool because he had hair. And it turns out the man who I was so hell-bent to give the ball to every time and go the distance of the field was Ronaldinho, the Brazilian legend. Now, I wasn't good at FIFA 08, like I was trash, but that should even tell you, if I was able to go crazy with Ronaldinho and I love that player so much, how good was he that a trash little however-year-old who didn't know nothing about real life soccer, I didn't know nothing about the rules of the game or anything, could take Ronaldinho and on whatever the default difficulty is and still go crazy. Like, we know Ronaldinho, bro. If you're not a soccer fan, Ronaldinho is the truth, the man. He got the skills to pay the bills. He got the pace, bro. He will make a defender, a keeper. He'll make, it don't matter, bro. Send 3, send 4, it don't matter. He gonna make everybody look stupid. So moving on, we're going to another cover athlete, and that cover athlete is from NBA Live 05. Of course, I'm talking about Carmelo Anthony. Now, if you were playing basketball games in 2005 and you were a fan of NBA Live, chances are this game made you love Carmelo Anthony if you hadn't already. And to me, at least, Carmelo Anthony became a legend in my eyes because of this game. He was one of the youngest players in the league, and he managed to get the NBA Live 05 cover. His player model in the game was unstoppable. He was a scoring machine. You want to bang on the center? That's fine. You want to pull up midi? That's fine. You want the 3-ball? That's fine. You want to go post-up game? That is fine. He was in the intro, the little intro where they were showing all of the new features and the dunk contest and everything. They had him shutting down the dunk contest, and he even had his own shoe that was in the game. Like, he wore his shoe in the game as a 2nd or 3rd year player. And next on the list, we're going to be taking a trip to a relic of sports gaming. And the game that I'm talking about is EA Sports MVP Baseball 2004. And the iconic character that I'm talking about in this game is the cover athlete, Albert Pujols. But the reason he's the icon that we talking about, it don't even got nothing to do with the cover athlete. Cover aside, you could have put Barry Bonds, Manny Ramirez, Derek G, whoever you want on it. I would still be talking about Albert Pujols right now. Why? Contact hitter, power hitter, and of course, the most important thing to me anyway, the batting stance, bro. Albert Pujols' batting stance. Whenever I saw Albert Pujols come up to bat, it could have been my sorriest friend who don't play baseball games, didn't know what he was doing. That fear sets in, that your heart rate starts to increase a little bit, right? Especially when it's a bot. You got to play against bot Albert Pujols. I'm going low and outside every time, and guess what? It's still getting hit over. It's still going over 500 feet. You want to know how real this was for me? I BS you not, bro. When I was a kid and I saw Albert Pujols' batting stance in this baseball game, dead ass, bro. I changed my batting stance. Like, I played baseball when I was a kid, and I started batting like Albert Pujols. The high elbow, the little bit of the shuffle in how you hold the bat, the foot placement, everything, bro. And not to mention that and the game after it are probably the greatest baseball games to ever exist, at least in my opinion. But moving on to the last person on the list that we're gonna talk about, and for you younger cats, y'all probably not gonna get this one. Ready to Rumble. Y'all know the boxing game that had all the fun, had Michael Jackson, Shaq, all them in it. We are talking about none other than Afro Thunder. But Afro Thunder is probably one of the most hilarious, in my opinion, one of the funniest video game characters ever. Like, the things he said, his little, like, you had the taunt to get your rumble meter, which is essentially like a blitz meter. And then Ready to Rumble, all fighters had like their own move set, taunts, knockouts, quotes, and everything. But his Afro Thunders is just hilarious. He sounds like somebody doing a bad Chris Rock impersonation and just saying a hella funny stuff. Like check this out.
Punch your blaster! Make it feel good! Rumble! Better call the doctor!
Even Afro Thunder's gloves were funny. He had a little smiley face on the spot that he would be hitting you with his gloves. Like I said, everybody was different. There were no two people in this game who were the same. So nobody else had that. Talking about this game makes me wonder, why have there been no sequels to it since Ready to Rumble 2? I know that Phase Breaker came out and maybe that was like a spiritual successor and everything, but maybe it sold poorly. But Ready to Rumble 2 is a classic. I feel like if they were to like HD remaster or something, or bring another one back, I feel like there would be an audience for it, but that's not what we're here for. But that's the video, man. Those are our iconic characters from our childhood for today. If I missed anybody that you think should be on the list, make sure you put it down below in the comments. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And as always, man, I'm D Brown Shanghai, and I'm up out of here.